Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Hip Hop Gossip for you. Boosie Badazz faces backlash after downplaying Diddy's charges. Boosie Badazz defended Diddy, alleging that the hip-hop mogul was simply flying women out, like any celebrity would. Boosie Badazz was trending for all the wrong reasons after defending Diddy and dismissing his serious felony accusations as flying women out for sex. The hip-hop entrepreneur has pleaded not guilty to several allegations, including racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation with purpose to prostitution. Federal authorities have over 50 witnesses ready to testify against Sean Diddy Combs, some of whom accuse years of torture. Nonetheless, on Tuesday, September 18, Boosie defended Diddy, claiming that the Bad Boy Records founder was detained for doing what every other famous entertainer has done, adding, "He just freakier." Social media users quickly denounced Boosie, with many thinking he admitted to some of the same crimes Diddy is accused of. Others cited his earlier statements about hiring sex prostitutes for his minor relatives. So, effectively, you acknowledge to being complicit in sex trafficking as well? Noted. A user shared. Also, a reminder to everyone reading this, Boosie has paid sex workers to ####### his boys on their 13th birthdays. You will be cellmates with Diddy very soon, Boosie. Boosie only saying this because it's a common thing in the music industry for women to be drugged and rapped, another comment read. A deeper conversation needs to be had because they really think it's okay and normal and it's not. A third person said. I'm relieved that the dad who admitted hiring sex workers for his 13 and 14-year-old son and nephew has spoken out on sex crime charges. It's critical to have Boosie's opinion on record here. Boosie reacts to Diddy's charges. Boosie asserted that celebrities have no choice but to fly women to them for sex because they are constantly on the road. He stated that the hotel surveillance video of Diddy viciously hitting his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura revealed that Diddy really got a problem. However, he contended that a potential life sentence is excessive because Diddy was basically doing what so many other musicians have done. Furthermore, Boosie feels Diddy's case will result in other artists being imprisoned for flying out women for love. Crucially, Boosie rejected or dismissed prosecutors' assertions that Diddy used his riches and position to abuse and manipulate victims for more than a decade. They also accused him of running a criminal operation that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Judge Andrew Carter denied Diddy's bail on Wednesday, September 18, citing prosecutors' evidence that he was a danger to the community. Diddy thrown back into the tombs after judge denies bail. A second judge refused Diddy bail in his sex trafficking and racketeering case, holding him in jail until his trial. Judge Andrew Carter dismissed Diddy's second bail plea on Wednesday, September 18. The judge stated that prosecutors established Diddy was a risk to the community. On Monday, September 16, Diddy was arrested in New York on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation for prostitution. Prosecutors accused Diddy of running a criminal operation that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. For years, Sean Combs used the business empire he controlled to sexually abuse and exploit women, as well as to commit other acts of violence and obstruction of justice, the U.S. Attorney's Office said. He faces racketeering and sex trafficking charges. If you have been a victim of Combs' alleged abuse, or if you know anything about his alleged crimes, we encourage you to come forward. The investigation is far from over. Diddy pled not guilty on all charges on Tuesday, September 17. Judge Robin Tarnofsky rejected bail on the same day. Defense attorneys sought new bail terms on Wednesday. Diddy's legal team questioned Judge Tarnofsky's and the prosecution's justifications for keeping him in custody until the trial. The government has argued that Mr. Combs is a threat to the community, and that what makes this defendant even more dangerous is his extensive and exhaustive history of obstruction of justice, Diddy's lawyers stated. They made various charges that did not constitute obstruction at all. The truth is that Mr. Combs has done nothing to obstruct this inquiry, and the government does not make a convincing case otherwise. They said, Mr. Combs has the right to assemble witnesses to defend himself against the government's charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. As part of that defense, he has called possible defense witnesses to inform them that counsel will contact them. Tellingly, the government does not refer to, or cannot refer to, any interaction Mr. Combs had with a possible witness since becoming aware of the criminal investigation in which he pressured any witness to change their statement. Prosecutors claimed Diddy's amended bail bid did not address their worries about obstruction in the case. Judge Carter agreed and sentenced Diddy to remain in jail. The lawyers for the founder of Bad Boy Records want him transported from the notorious Metropolitan Detention Center to Essex County. 2 of Diddy's charges involve life sentences. If convicted of sex trafficking, he will face a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison. Diddy's dirty deeds are captured in real time. The federal case against Sean Diddy Combs gets speed as more than 50 witnesses describe abuse and vital electronic evidence is seized. More than 50 witnesses have been gathered by federal authorities to testify against Sean Diddy Combs in a case that has revealed frightening abuse allegations. The roster includes people who allege the hip-hop mogul mistreated them for years, as well as some who say they witnessed his violent outbursts firsthand. Following his arrest in Manhattan on Monday, September 16, Diddy pled not guilty to several charges, including racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation with purpose to prostitute. His appearance in Manhattan federal court on Tuesday, September 17, concluded with a judge refusing his bail request, and prosecutors labeled him a flight risk. Search warrants executed in Miami and Los Angeles resulted in the seizure of multiple illicit firearms, including AR-15 rifles with defaced serial numbers, reinforcing the government's belief that Diddy is a serious threat. During a second hearing, prosecutors claimed that his vast resources and history of obstruction make him an ongoing threat to witnesses and justice. On Wednesday, Judge Andrew Carter agreed with prosecutors and ordered Diddy detained without bail at the notorious Metropolitan Detention Center. Prosecutors said the statements reflect a terrifying pattern of Diddy using his wealth and power to bully and demean women. Reports reveal legendary freak-offs, which are exclusive parties featuring commercial sex workers that are replete with drugs, violence, and coercion. Witness statements showed that the gatherings were part of a decade-long systematic strategy to exploitation. The prosecution's case is based on a trove of more than 90 electronic devices, cloud storage accounts, thumb drives, and a surveillance system seized from Diddy's homes and associates, including cell phones, laptops, and hard drives thought to contain damning evidence, such as videos and communication records, that could support the charges. These acts of physical force, of violence, are corroborated not only through victim testimony but also through, among other things, victim communications with Diddy, spanning years of the charged time period, witness testimony, including witnesses who were present during and after freak-offs, video footage, photographs capturing victim injuries, and law enforcement records, among other things, the U.S. Attorney's Office said. The same is true for Diddy's coercion. The correspondence between Diddy and several victims, including those sent as recently as this year, demonstrate victim resistance to participating in freak-offs despite Diddy's aggressive techniques. Diddy's years-long use of force and coercion speaks directly to dangerousness, Williams said. Williams stated that the devices capture alleged offenses in real time. As the inquiry continues, the number of people willing to come out against him is expected to increase, potentially adding depth to the already extensive claims against him.